When we're in the ages of 0 to 7, our minds are in a state of theta. That just means we're absorbing everything around us, and it's creating the software for our behaviors and patterns and habits. That becomes the very behaviors and habits and patterns that we have throughout most of our life unless we choose to disrupt them. I'm going to take you to this place that it's essentially what your subconscious is going to create.
I'm imagining that like once it moves into that house, you can pick door number 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
You can go soul searching and doing all the exploring. You can isolate or you can do drugs.
Right.
Which one do you want? I'm gonna open.
Right.
I'm picking door. Welcome back to Mic It Loud. I'm Brittany Racine, and today we are bringing you something a little bit different. This is going to be part 2 of last week's episode with Allie Graham from Revive Wellness Spa. We talked all astrologies and birth charts. She literally explained how the stars aligned when I was born and with my life, really, from a scientific perspective. But because that episode had so much in itself, we decided to break the hypnosis portion of the conversation into its own episode. So today, Allie is back with me. I am going to ask her every question under the sun about hypnosis from somebody who literally doesn't even know how to spell hypnosis. Allie does a great job breaking down the benefits of hypnotherapy from a psychological perspective to help us recover from traumas that we've experienced in this lifetime, but also if we've carried any patterns over that don't make sense to us and we keep repeating them. So this episode's actually going to be broken up into 3 different pieces, and I'm going to walk you through each one. The first one is part 2 of the first episode, where we're just talking about hypnosis. She's educating me on the benefits of it and how it actually works. Moving into the second portion of this, so we set aside a separate day that it's kind of like a sleepover vibe. She does a demonstration on me of how she would do a typical hypnosis therapy session with a client. So the second portion of this is really the therapy portion of this. She's getting to know me. She's asking me questions. She's trying to figure out the best way to hypnotize me based on her own little mini psych eval of how my brain actually works in comparison to how other people's brains might work. Please know that this recording was actually 4 hours long, so it's not going to include everything from this. The first portion was probably like an hour and a half, and then the actual hypnosis was about 2 hours long. Clearly you can see that this episode is not 4 hours long. So eventually we get into the hypnosis demo, which I only included about 8 minutes of because truthfully, why do you even care what I'm saying when I'm getting hypnotized? But I wanted you to realize that it's just not scary and it's very relaxing and calming. Obviously, the pieces of the puzzle and the story that I'm telling while hypnotized and Allie's walking me through almost like a daydream, it's not going to piece together properly because, like I said, it was 2 hours long and I cut it into 8 minutes. So keep an open mind to this. It's honestly funnier than I expected it to be. When I started listening to it, I'm like, this is actually a hilarious conversation of me just like trying to understand the scope of what this even is. So this one's all for your entertainment. I'm gonna pop back in between each little break of this so you're not confused on how it mushes all together. So with that, here is Allie and we are getting into part 2. So we're back with Allie today after we just did all of the astrology, birth chart, just educating us on all the things that we had no idea was connected in life. I want to talk about your hypnosis. And was that something that you said you went to school for psychology? Mm-hmm. Was that something that you learned right away with astrology, or you did astrology and then you're like, ooh, I can like branch into this also?
Mm-hmm. So astrology was just something that was kind of always like within my curiosity, whereas the realms of like hypnotherapy and quantum healing hypnosis and coaching, those all came as essentially a byproduct of being in my psych classes, because I remember like I learned about neuroplasticity and I was like,
what even is that?
So it's literally your brain's ability to create new neural pathways. And so
like thoughts?
Like new behaviors,
okay,
new patterns, new ways of being. Like, because when we're in the ages of 0 to 7, our minds are in a state of theta. That just means we're absorbing everything around us, and it's creating the software for our behaviors and patterns and habits. So when we're creating that software program, that becomes the very behaviors and habits and patterns that we have throughout most of our life, unless we choose to disrupt them.
Okay.
So when it comes to hypnotherapy and QHHT, which is, I should say this part, it's a branch of hypnotherapy that was created by Dolores Cannon. So it does take you to a deeper level than just most traditional hypnotherapy. What I've figured out in a lot of my sessions is most people just want a space to be heard. You know,
So they're like, please hypnotize me so I can't even remember this, but hear me.
Well, like oftentimes what'll happen is we'll end up starting with like a chart or a chart reading or literally just talking. And
do you say like, what do you want help with?
oh yeah, like they always fill out like their intake form and stuff, and like
what do
we'll
you want to
talk
be
about
hypnotized about?
yeah, like we'll talk about that stuff. But
What are the most common?
Weight loss, smoking. I've had a couple that were for like addictions, that like substance abuse.
Do they work?
Yeah, that one was interesting for me just because I have I guess my own like traumas with like my dad being an alcoholic and stuff like that. So I was like pulling from my OG resources.
You're like I need to be hypnotized after this now.
Like, can somebody help me?
Wait, so okay, when people are thinking hypnosis, I mean, I instantly think back to like the cartoons where they hold like the thing and then you look at it and then your eyes start spinning and you're like, don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But what actually is it?
Yeah.
Can you control people?
No.
Because like people are like, oh yeah, they hypnotize you and then they say, go get this and you just get up and go and you don't remember. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah. So like Hollywood really did a number to this whole practice because that's like one of the first things I have to tell people. Like, I'm not going to make you quack like a duck.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that. Okay.
Is that possible?
So it's based on suggestibility. So like some people that go and do like when they're in the performances and stuff, like the stage with the hypnotist, they want to enjoy and have that experience. So they're open to suggestibility. Whereas other people are like, I can prove to them that I can't be hypnotized. So and their conscious mind is so in
like they're just blocking it out.
Yeah, 100%. And that has been the case with clients that I've worked with and stuff. But
like you're like, I'm trying to hypnotize you, but you don't even want to be hypnotized.
Yeah. And it's a trust thing, you know, because a trust and control thing, especially when there's like a lot of childhood trauma. How often are we like, you know, oh, I want to manifest this or I want to let go of this habit.
But then our subconscious is still hanging on to it. Yeah. So you're like, you're never going to get past that.
Yeah, because it's programmed in, especially if it happened, you know, between ages 0 to 7. Like that's part of your software program. And a lot of us have just been, you know, when it pops up and it's like, you need an update. And we're like, later.
Yeah.
Later.
So how do you break someone down?
When I say a lot of people just need a space to talk through their shit, but to have a complete stranger that knows nothing about you up until I like look at your chart and then I validate life experiences and then just hold a space for you after we've unloaded and we've unraveled all that, then we start breaking down the patterns. And, you know, sometimes we get into childhood trauma and all that stuff, but it's not always necessary. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, like I didn't have a great childhood experience and I'm trying to be a better person. So then when we go into the hypnotherapy, the way that we quiet down the logical left side of the brain, it's really like it just feels a lot like a meditation at first. And then we go through something called deepeners, which it's just taking you down into levels
like further
of awareness. Down? Yep. And so where this would differ a little bit from QHHT, the process of getting you into a deeper state, it's a bit more extended.
It's different.
And then we'll take you into what's called the somnambulistic state. And it's the deepest level of trance that you can possibly be in. But you...
like the while meditating kind of thing?
Yeah. So...
do they talk?
I'm asking...
do they remember it?
They can, but I always have them recorded anyway. So if they want to go back and listen to it...
do they usually remember?
Yes and no. I've had people where they can recall the past life experiences, but then once we get to the oversoul...
Wait, what's the oversoul?
So this is like, think like CEO of your entire being.
So when somebody gets into like the hypnosis phase, how do they even know what their past life was?
As a practitioner, the more that you work with clients, the more you kind of like tailor your own process, and like you almost figure out when someone is actually in a very deep state versus like a lighter state, and maybe they're blocking themselves, if you will.
Are their eyes open or closed?
Closed.
What if they fall asleep?
I've had that happen.
No, they're like snoring?
Light snores.
Were they talking still?
No. Nope.
Were you just like, I guess this is over?
Yeah, eventually I'll bring them out of it, because it's with your mind like that relaxed, it is very, very easy to slip into. You're one state above deep sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Literally.
I can't wait for you to do this to me, because I'm one of those people that falls asleep like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that for you.
But then like, I feel like I fall asleep too easy though. But if I ever if Kirsten's ever like doing a guided meditation, I get dizzy so quick, because I feel like I'm like, did you just like send me to outer space really quick? And like, I can't.
The wah-wahs.
Yeah, I'm like, you sent me to like outer space. I have to like hold on to a chair. I'm gonna like fall out of my chair. But like that, as soon as she like starts doing it, I'm like immediate, the most insane vertigo ever.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with vertigo, it takes you a while to like stabilize. But whenever I've done it with her, like as soon as she's done, it's like, oh, it's over. But I've never been like hypnotized.
Yeah.
So you break them down through like meditation to like.
That's just the easiest way for me to explain it. That
Right.
It feels a lot like.
None of us are going to understand any other way. I don't think.
But yeah, it's just quieting the logical left side of the brain. So imagine that you're driving in a car, and typically the left side is in charge. Driving, like holding on the steering wheel, deciding where to go, and monitoring what's safe and what isn't. And so when we start to regress someone and their mind starts to quiet down, the goal is to just take that left side of the brain and put it in the back seat.
Okay.
So you're still able to witness what's happening. You're still in control. It's just like quiet in the back,
Yeah.
Instead of the constant chatter and analyzing, because the moment that you start to analyze a situation or something you're feeling, you're seeing, or perceiving, that's when the logical side of the brain comes in and is like, you sure about that?
Yeah.
You sure you didn't?
So do you want to like use the right brain the whole time?
Yeah, that's the goal.
I feel like that's the only side of my brain that works most of the time.
Oh, don't we're locked and loaded, babe.
Is that like a creativity, or what's the right side?
Yeah, so your right side carries
ideas.
It's
fun.
Yeah. It's the play, it's the childhood self, it's the creative flow. Sometimes it's purely driven by like my intuition. If we've kind of went through their core questions of what they want to know, but
what if I don't have core questions though? But I got to bring those?
Yeah, I'll send you it's just kind of like maybe you just want to do like, life purpose, path, or, why did this experience happen? Or
can we do past life?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That, because whatever comes up, that's the intent, is that like the past lives are coming up.
So the past lives are what like sometimes dictate some weird ass choices that we don't understand that are that we've made. So is that why people are like, you know what? I'm gonna need a past life one, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing and why I'm doing this.
Yeah. That's why I call them the wah-wahs. Even if you're not moving, it feels like you're going, wow, wow,
yeah,
wow, yeah. And it's because your top, like these two energy centers are being opened more than they ever have before.
Wait, is this another dimension? From how many times I've been so confused with dimensions, is that the dimension?
I mean, you could technically say that you're moving into another dimension, because you're using like your extrasensory ability. One thing that I do in like the intake process is I figure out what your dominant clair is. And so
what's that?
Your clairs are your way of receiving information. So like clairvoyance, for example, is clear seeing. And that's like Kirsten's ability to see grandpappy, that's just like to actually see them physically. Or clairaudience, which is the ability to hear. Or claircognizance, which is a tricky one because it's just a knowing. You don't know why, you just know.
I feel like I'm the audio one.
Yeah. Do you hear?
I'm definitely not seeing shit. I don't see anything. I have contacts after I had LASIK. Like my eyes are barely working. Okay,
barely working right now.
No, but I feel like I'm, I guess audio. But it's not always like an actual audio. It's like a telepathic. Voice.
Do you ever hear like if you're like, let's say that you're around somebody and all of a sudden you start like hearing a song loop in your head, or just like a certain phrase, even if it's the most random.
Okay, no, maybe I'm not that.
It's okay though, because this is just like one
I
way
feel it's like
that it can be.
when I've talked with Kirsten about it, I feel like mine's like a telepathic voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an actual like sound.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
But does it sound just like your voice?
No.
And okay.
But it's not like they're speaking Spanish, which I know she hears sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's like it's kind of my voice. It's not a very distinct voice, but it's not what I would say.
Yeah. So it's like,
or like sometimes I'm like halfway through the question, I already hear the answer.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell myself that answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's the weird unlocking thing she did with me. But I'm also like, am I just making this up?
That's the logical left side.
Okay, left. Come on. No fun over there.
Get it together. A lot of times what people will struggle with is because they haven't spent enough time just like strengthening their psyche muscles.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I'm
You
just
question
making
it.
it up, or I feel like even in like past life regression or QHHT, I'll have people that won't actually go into a past life. They'll end up in the spirit realm, and
wait, so they go into like psychicness?
So sometimes they will see other, like they'll see other people, or oftentimes they'll end up like with their guides, and that'll be their first interaction with them though. And they'll be like, well, there's someone here, and they'll start explaining them, and then I'll ask them like if they have a name, and almost 9 times out of 10, like they don't have a name because it's not necessary for them, but we have to give them a name because it helps us
understand who we're talking to,
like when
we're
we
talking
name
about
things. Yeah, it like helps us identify them. So a lot of times they'll end up there and then interacting with their guide, and then their guide is the one that helps them through
the regression.
Yes, because I mean sometimes the shit can be whack, like heavy. I can feel that even with like the rapport I make with their oversoul. And when I say oversoul, I'm saying like the highest, most light part of their being. Like oversoul sparks out, and there's all these different sparks. Okay.
Wait, what? Start over. I'm confused.
So oversoul at the top. Think like, just imagine like a cloud.
Okay.
So this is going to be your oversoul.
Is that my own soul or like somebody else's? Or is this in my brain?
Like, let's say that, okay, so the oversoul has sparks that come out of it, and all these different sparks are souls.
Okay.
Okay, so when we are going into past life regression, you are tapping into these other souls. Okay.
Are they mine?
Yes. Because they're a part of the same oversoul. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But they
only because I asked Kirsten all this on my first podcast, because I was like, so is my soul, since I'm here, not in heaven anymore because I'm down here? And so all my people that are dead, they're like, where'd Britt go? But like, I'm down here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And she's like, no, you're like, it's like another birth of me.
Yes.
But then they're all still up there.
Yeah.
So there's one main one.
Yeah. Essentially. And that's going to be the one that's the closest connection to the divine, to source energy.
Yeah.
And so, like, all of those souls have their own experiences and their own, like,
lives.
Yes. But
they're still all the same person.
Coming back into, like, the essence, the energetic essence of it, that's when we're going up into this higher part. Then going up into your oversoul, it's like,
they just answer right away. So it's like I'm possessed by it. Not possessed by it, but like, I don't know.
But it's
I mean, like,
being channeled through you.
Yeah. Like I'm just a vehicle.
But you can feel...
Do people's voices ever change?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh. What if I sound like, I probably have a Southern accent. I was for sure a cowgirl.
So it's like almost always when I get to the oversoul, their voice will have just a slight volume change.
Is anyone's ever like demonic? And you're like, you should probably go see Kirsten after this.
Nope, never. No, I've had...
What if they have no lives and this is like their first life? You're like, you know what? You have no regression. You're just starting out dumb.
So I've had people... I haven't worked with anyone that is like fresh to this earth, but I have had clients that like their subconscious mind does not allow us access to their memories. And the cool thing is that you can actually ask for something called a basically automatic responses that you can use through your fingertips. You'll see one of their fingers twitch.
Wait, we should do that too.
Oh yeah, we for sure
Just
will.
test all the things
and then
on
do like
me.
a zoom in on your hands too.
Just like test everything on me.
I will.
I want to be a lab rat.
Okay.
But I'll be Southern.
You come out of it and you're like, I'll be darned.
No, I know. What if you like start going through someone's past lives and they were like an animal?
I've never navigated with someone that lived entirely as an animal, but where they had like different abilities and like from completely different planets. Those ones are always like, I really have to buckle down on my.
What, if you have an alien?
Yeah, because I like literally when I worked with Kirsten, I did a past life on Kirsten. She starts talking to me in another language. I'm like, what do
I wish this was recorded. I would watch this. I'm taking the day off today, guys. I gotta watch this.
And I've had like a couple other clients that have, one spoke in tongues, the other one, it was an old indigenous language, but the subconscious like is never going to take them into a life that they can't consciously handle. Like if it's going to throw them off from their path right now. Like I'm heavy on the personal self-talk. Like if you have a really, really bad rapport with yourself and you're constantly like talking bad about yourself, your life, your experiences, it is so difficult to like make any progress through that.
Yeah, you're just living in the same bubble.
Yeah.
So once you break them down and they like realize that, then do you like sit with them afterwards and be like, okay, now we're gonna do this going forward? Or how do you send them on their way after that? You're just like, hey, we just went through some crazy shit.
Go on.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. So like I always spend a period of time after either the regression or the hypnosis to just piece things together.
I'm so excited to do this.
I know. I think it's going to be good for both of us because I've honestly been looking for someone that's like
going to be a guinea pig.
Yeah, that's
like you're like, can we just use you?
You know, someone that's comfortable enough in their own energy that you're like, I don't really give a shit what comes up. It's not like
I did that.
Yeah,
like me personally.
Yeah, this soul is clean from that. Okay.
Yeah, like okay, judge me for what I did back in the 1400s. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Do you always do a chart before you do someone's?
Pretty much always. Now,
even if they don't ask, you're like, I'm going to study it anyway, so I know.
Well, like in their intake form, I'll put in there like birth chart information, but you know, I'm just using this as a reference tool.
When they start the therapy, you're like, what happened in 2009? And it looked rough.
I swear. I'll be doing that.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be going to like.
You're like, so how old was the worst year of your life? How old were you? And you're like, let me guess. Let's just go back when you were 11. Let's just start there.
Literally, especially when I have people that are almost skeptics at first.
Yeah,
because I'm like, we're just gonna cut right through the bullshit, and I'm like, what happened when you were 12?
Yeah.
I think it's just sometimes people have fear of like they want to be known, but the fear of actually being known is like,
oh yeah, like you just feel naked.
Yeah,
but like obviously you came to get naked.
Yeah,
you know. All of it is crazy how it ties together and then also works and like matches actual real life. Like my mind is absolutely blown. I'm so excited to do a demo of this.
At this time, we are moving into the following day of this recording where Allie is breaking down the talk therapy portion of the hypnosis process to get me prepared for the hypnosis. She does tie a lot of the birth chart back into this, so we are tying together part 1 of this episode and going into how we would use a birth chart reading for hypnosis therapy.
Okay. So, you want to just roll into it?
Yeah.
All right. Eclipses move. They actually move backwards in the zodiac sign. So eclipses, like, I mean, all the way back in history as far back as astrologers can tell, like royalty, civilizations, governments, they've been using astrology and they look up at the sky, and during eclipses it was always something significant that was happening, whether it was like something super dramatic like the fall of a king or a really cold winter, whatever. So we see them as catalysts for change, and they happen in 3 waves. And so how I like to explain it is like a spiral staircase. So when you're at the top of the staircase and you hit like the first eclipse, you can only really see like what's in front of you. But when you start moving down the staircase and you hit the second eclipse, you can see, okay, like I had that experience, and you start to see
What's
the next
coming?
part of it. Yeah. And then by the third eclipse, it's like, okay, got it. Like, lesson learned, you know?
Okay.
So it does kind of,
It's like 3 spanks.
yeah.
All the way down.
Right. And usually the first one
Is the hardest?
Yes, it's the hardest. And by the second, you're like, didn't even hurt.
Yeah.
So after that, we move into your 12th and your 6th house energies. You have a very large 6th house and 12th house. So this is when things
Wait, what do you mean
kind of
large?
So
There's a lot in it?
actually they are intercepted. So you have something called an interception. Do you see how like this line, this ascendant line lands
Is
in
that the birth
Taurus?
line?
This is your ascendant.
What does that mean?
This is where the sun was rising on the eastern horizon at the time of your birth.
So that's your birth line, though.
So, well, what do you mean by birth? So your ascendant is super important because it's going to dictate
where everything else is.
Yes.
So that's the main, that's like the capital.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Good way to say it, yeah.
Put a pin there. This is, you are here.
I love that. That's a good way to say it. So because your 12th house here is actually touching 3 different signs, that's what we call an interception. And so it just means that sometimes the energy is a little bit less familiar to the soul, and it's something that you just have to develop. And I mean, you have 2 major planets in the sign of Aries, so that tells me that your soul wanted to really develop those Aries qualities of
Which ones?
up here.
What is that? Mercury?
So this is Mercury and this is the sun. And these are 2 really important planets. With the 12th house and 6th house energy, this is going to be your health, your routines, your schedules, your pets, your work life. And then the 12th house is the realm of the unseen, and it's where we move into the subconscious and more of our mental health.
Do people never get to that one? I feel like so many people don't ever touch on that house.
Yeah, so everybody will like spend time in this house. It's just how it
Deep they
manifests.
go?
Yeah, because like the 12th house also rules over solitude. So sometimes people go into it and they hermit themselves and they isolate. Where during that time frame, like you should have been doing the soul searching and doing
But
the
you
work,
just sat out.
but
You took
yeah.
a time out that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also the house of like substances. Sometimes like when people go heavy into this house, they overuse substances because they want to spend so much time in the ethers.
Or like your free will?
Yeah.
I'm imagining that like once it moves into that house, you can pick door number 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
You can go soul searching and doing all the exploring. You can isolate or you can do drugs.
Right.
Which one do you want to go to open?
Right.
I picked door 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple more options.
Yeah.
But
So we're moving into, we've got the 11th house energy. So as I was saying before, like, yeah, there might be opportunities for growth or new friendships, new networks, new communities that come into it. On the other end of the chart, the 5th house, this is where we're creative. Like, how much do you allow yourself to play and to really be in that creative, fun energy? I will overindulge, you know, a little bit. And so I had to recognize that, like, yes, we do need to play. Yes, we need to create. But when you're overdoing it, it tends to take from the other areas of your life.
Oh, like partying?
Yeah.
Don't party too hard?
Well, like that.
Shit, I'm bad at that.
Or just like,
if you invite me to something, I will come and I will shut it down.
Aries.
But there's a lot of, I have so much social things.
Yeah.
So if they're ramping up even more, it's going to be hard.
But like, think about it this way. If in this process, like some old connections like fall away, all that's doing is opening up space for new ones. So it's kind of like dig into the
questions,
Yeah.
the therapy. Okay. My mental health is like oddly kind of fine.
Yeah. How's your sleep?
I fall asleep like the second I see my bedroom.
Okay.
Probably because I have energy all day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll wake up in like the middle of the night and I can't fall back asleep for like a couple hours.
Do you have any like spiritual experiences or things that have happened, whether it's like mystical or ghosty or any like weird shit that's happened? Anything weird?
Paranormal thing?
Yeah. It can be paranormal. It can be.
I wish I had more. No. Okay. But I do have dreams a lot of times of like my ex-boyfriend that died and my aunt. And they're like super, like I remember everything about them. It's like they're there.
Yeah.
I feel like usually my aunt, I'm like, I have so much to tell you, and I just hug her and cry the whole time.
Aww.
Both my grandpas died when I was driving to this is so weird.
but when we were driving to my grandpa's burial, we were like driving on the road. Ridge had like a Tupperware of blueberries and he was like eating them in the back seat. And I like turned around and he was done eating them and he was just like holding the Tupperware like out the window like this. And I went to go like, hey, don't do that, because I knew the wind would he was like 3.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I was like, hey, the thing went flying. Yeah. I'm like, damn it, because we're going like 50 miles an hour down the road, right? I'm like, I was literally just going to tell you, don't do that, because I knew that was going to happen. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, oops. So we're going on the road, whatever. We go like a mile on the road. The Tupperware flies back in the window. We're going down the road. We didn't stop. I'm dead serious. I heard a clunk and I turned and looked at Ridge and I'm like, is that the Tupperware? And he's like, it literally just hit me in the face. And I'm like, was that my grandpa? Like, there's no how.
Like,
how?
Freaking pat me back in the window.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
While we're driving. It like went against the wind and came back up and flew back in the car. I have like random dreams of tornadoes all the time. And I'm like trying to run and be like, oh shit, I gotta get out my kids and get in the basement. I feel like I've had some really weird like dreams that are so like metaphorical. Like one time I was like literally trying to crawl out of this like hole. It's like dirt. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't get out. I can't get out. I can't get out. I can't get out. And it was like so deep and I'm like trying so hard to crawl out. And then I like get to the top and I literally went like this, like, oh. And it was like this deep. I'm not kidding. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm a crazy person. I need to go to a mental institution, I think.
Okay, so that sounds like, because if you felt like you were in a hole and you felt like, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of it, it's just, I feel like that's just a perception thing. Like, that's your subconscious trying to tell you, like, hey, sis, the hole's really not that deep.
Yeah.
So usually, like, in our dream state is where, like people that tell me, I have this recurring dream of, like, I'm in a car that's like going over a bridge, or a plane that crashes, or like drowning, things like that. Those are almost always like heavy indicators to the way that they passed in a previous lifetime.
Mm-hmm. I feel like mine a lot of times though too could have had to do with my divorce, because like there's been some where I'm like I remember this one and it was like this tidal wave was coming at me and I'm like holding on to both my kids.
Yeah.
But I hope I didn't die that way in a past life.
Right. So,
but I feel like that also just had to do with a lot that I was going with.
Yeah. Like, because
like, how am I going to swim with both of you and this freaking tidal wave is about to come over us?
And like literally water is emotion. So it's like a tidal wave of emotions and you're just trying to like protect your kids from it.
Yeah.
And even knowing damn well you still have to go through it. So
yeah, it's coming either way.
I'm going to ask you questions about your clairs now. Okay. So if you just bought a piece of furniture that needs to be assembled, like from IKEA, how do you go about tackling this? Would you A, look at the diagrams and pictures and barely read the words? Basically just like looking at the images. Yeah. Okay, we'll start right there. Okay. Think about the last time you watched a really gripping movie. What stays with you the most afterwards? Is it the costumes or the beauty of the scenery? The emotional impact, meaning that like if people were like scared, you felt that fear or yeah. The soundtrack, or like the songs that were on it, the score, if it was like a sports thing, or
no, the emotion.
Okay. Walking into a stranger's house for a party, what's the first thing that might make you feel uncomfortable? A, it's messy, cluttered, dark, or visually chaotic. B, the vibe in the room feels heavy, tense, or welcoming. You can instantly tell if the host, like, basically if the energy is good, or if it's like, ooh, I think that they just fought with each other before we got over. Thing. C, if it's too loud, the acoustics are echoing or people are talking over each other. Or D, you just suddenly have a feeling that you just want to leave.
I feel like the vibe.
Yeah. When you're alone and lost in thought, what is happening in your mind? Are you daydreaming or replaying memories like a movie reel? B, processing your emotions or physical state, basically like noticing you're hungry or stressed. C, you're having a full conversation with yourself, debating pros and cons in your head. Or D, your mind is actually quite blank until a fully formed idea or solution suddenly drops in. So this is when
probably A, or a conversation.
Okay.
But the conversation isn't always like pros and cons. I'm just talking to myself.
You're just like bantering with.
Yeah.
Inner monologue.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, some people don't have an internal monologue.
What? I was literally laughing out loud on the way here.
Yeah.
Just at my own self.
I'm going to take you to this place that it's essentially what your subconscious is going to create. And then, so there's going to be this period where I'm just getting your mind and your body relaxed. And then we're kind of playing with the clair a little bit just to make sure it's sticking. And then
Like
we'll
walk
start.
through a garden or whatever.
Yeah. The past life regression. And the biggest thing that I can tell you is like have zero expectations. And like there's literally nothing that you have to like try to make sense of, that you have to like, if
Do
you
you piece it together for me at the end?
oh yeah we're gonna bring it back together,
Okay.
because I don't want you thinking like trying to analyze things while you're under, because then
Just
it's gonna
talk.
yep.
At this time, we are getting into the demo portion of this. Again, you have to book an actual session with Allie to hear this entire process. So the reason I cut a lot of this out is because I don't want to out her whole process of how she hypnotizes you. So we kind of just like jump right into it. And like I said, there's a ton of little details and different pieces of the story I'm telling that are cut out of it just for time's sake. But feel free to reach out to me afterwards and ask me any questions that you have. And we're going to get right into this demo.
All right, cozy up.
Get in.
Yep. This is for underneath your
Knees.
legs, just to balance you out.
Okay. That way. I feel like I'm getting ready to go to outer space. I'm ready for launch.
Okay, so I want you to begin by just taking in a deep, nourishing breath and gently exhaling. And with each breath, allow yourself to sink deeper into comfort and relaxation. I want you to tell me where you feel that you're at right now. What beautiful place are you in?
I'm at a pool.
Do you recognize this pool?
I hope it's mine.
Where are you standing at looking at this pool?
At my house.
Do you have your feet in the water or anything?
No, I'm just standing on the concrete.
What sounds come to you?
Maybe some birds, but I don't hear any cars or anything. Dogs' feet.
What does the air smell like?
Summer.
As you explore this beautiful place, I want you to notice that there's something there that catches your eye. And it's an object. And I want you to go to this object and pick it up or hold it in whatever way feels right. What object did you find?
It's like one of those sun catcher balls.
What color is it?
It's all different colors.
Can you hold it in your hands?
Yeah, it's like a globe-looking thing that's glass.
Is it warm or cool to the touch?
It's warm.
What emotions come up as you hold this sun catcher?
I don't know. Just like emotions.
What's the first thing that comes to you? Maybe it's even a memory or a feeling that comes up.
I don't know. It reminds me of my aunt.
So this is the part of the mind that we will be working with today. The part that holds the images, the memories and symbols. And it's the part that becomes active at night, guiding us through our dreams. So for now, just allow yourself to rest in this place of vivid imagination and heightened awareness. There are no worries here. As you drift, imagine a timeline stretching out before you. It weaves through the past, the present, and the future of both this lifetime and others. You are suspended above a specific moment in time, a place where wisdom and healing await you. And when you're ready, allow yourself to drift slowly down. Trust whatever you see, feel, or sense. It is exactly what you need in this moment. I want you to notice if you're wearing anything on your feet.
No.
Are you wearing anything on your body?
Like a white dress thing.
Do you feel like you're a male or a female?
A female.
Does this This place, the woods that you're in, does it feel familiar?
No.
How do you wear your hair?
It's really long and curly.
What color is it?
Blonde. I feel like I switch scenes.
That's okay. Just tell me what you're seeing. Where is the father of your children?
I don't know.
Does it feel like he's still alive?
I feel like he's gone, but I don't know if he's dead or if he's just gone.
What do you feel that you do with your time or maybe even a means of income?
I don't know.
What do you see yourself doing?
I can't figure that out.
Okay. So now I want you to look around in the village or the town and see if there's anything, maybe it's a newspaper or a sign or something in a window somewhere that would indicate where you're located.
I think I'm in Georgia.
Are there any other people within this town that you feel either a close connection to or a familiarity with?
I don't feel super close to anybody. I feel kind of alone here.
I want you to just let your subconscious carry you to an important event or scenario that happened in the lifetime that you're currently visiting, even if it doesn't make sense.
I feel like leaving this town.
And are you leaving the town with your kids?
Yeah.
Is it just you guys?
I don't know if the cop is coming with us or not.
Does it feel like he's coming?
Yeah.
And where do you guys go?
Not that far away. I don't know. It's like a house. It's like it has a lot of acreage.
What does it feel like being in this new house?
Like safer. Like I felt like when I was in the town, I like didn't really talk and I was scared and I was quiet.
And your new love, how is he, I guess with your trauma points or your pain points? And
He's very gentle and calm and like slow. So he's not like rushing me.
so now that you're in this new house and you're feeling safer, what happens next?
I got a horse
Mm.
and I like riding it.
What's the feeling that you experience from riding your horse?
Like freedom.
What did you name your horse?
Rosie. Roses? Something rose.
Do you just have the one horse or do you end up getting more?
I have a couple, but I only really ride the one. I feel like I'm very isolated, but I like wanted to be.
Do you not mind being on your own?
Yeah, I kind of liked being isolated. I think I got sick in this house.
What type of sickness does it feel like?
Like a fever.
Is this like a common sickness that other people would get?
I think it was kind of common, but I think I died.
What are your thoughts and emotions as this life comes to an end?
I feel like I wish I wasn't so scared to like live and like speak. And I was so afraid of people, I feel like.
I invite you to gently begin moving through the levels of consciousness. You've already connected with that part of you that holds memories and experiences. But now we will ascend to an even higher space where you can gain deeper wisdom and clarity. Allow yourself to feel this shift as you move through the levels, trusting that you are moving closer to your higher self. And now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Brittany to once again return and fully integrate back into the body completely.
And now just come back into your system. How did I do?
Yeah, you did great, dude. I tried to keep it kind of light and stuff just so, because I knew that I would just start drilling you with questions. I didn't think that you were actually, like, at first, the visuals and stuff, and you just dropped right into them. Like,
I feel like I can do the visuals.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about this. Like, I was so glad that you didn't come into the death scene, because that's happened. Like,
when people know when they died,
they, as soon as they come into the life, they're like right before they die in that lifetime. And then I have to work backwards.
I couldn't decide if I was like, okay, are these things just happening because I've lived them now? Like when I'm like, oh, I have 2 kids.
But why do you think you're living them now?
I don't know. I'm like, do they only seem like I have 2 because I only know 2?
Well, the thing is like our soul, the reason that we repeat like these patterns or themes or the karmic energy that has to be dealt with, it's because those are the things in the previous lifetimes that were unsettled. So you having Pluto literally in your 7th house of partnership, like, this is a huge soul thing that in this lifetime, you're like, no, like we're doing it this time and it's done.
Yeah.
It's finito. And you're like, so I'll stack my chart with a little Aries energy, so I'll have the spice of a warrior. And like,
give me the fire in this one.
Yeah. And I also thought it was funny too. I like put a little star by it because like the fact that you have your sun and your Mercury placed in the 12th house, if you could have went into that isolation. Like there is a part of your spirit that's like, yeah, dude, I'll go live in a cottage by myself and never talk to you fucks again.
Yeah.
But like an even bigger part of your spirit knew that you couldn't go back into that way. Like, the horse?
Stew,
Rosie? What?
I know. I'm like, why is it roses or something?
Yeah. I thought that was cute. And like literally when I was down at the spa, I told Kirsten, I was like, I feel like, because again, this morning I was listening to like a bunch of country music and I was like, I keep feeling like something like Western or like down south is going to come up, and sure as shit. Like it wasn't full blown rancher. That's one thing that I love so much about doing past life regression is because you can actually start to differentiate between like when it's just like your own inner voice, like,
or when it's like something else.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. I think you're doing a pretty good job at it too.
I apparently have my ass kicked for like seasons.
Few seasons, I think.
No wonder I'm getting my ass beat in my dreams.
Right.
Or I'm beating ass back. I don't know.
Yeah. Does the slow punches ever?
Yes, I hate those.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'll wake up just fuming.
Yeah.
Because I can't land a punch in my dream.
No.
Or like my voice will get taken away.
Yes.
Happen.
When you're like screaming for help.
Oh my God.
I get that all the time.
Are we sharing a dream space?
All the time I get that.
I think almost like we have to like recalculate, our birth charts and stuff. So it's like, ooh, that part didn't work so much, but I'm gonna go ahead and dial this back in, and next time we're good to go.
Let me be a savage in this lifetime. I'll pick Aries.
Yeah.
That was so fun. Thank you so much for giving this a try with me.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never done anything like this. It was fun.
I'm looking forward to when we poke around in the future.
Yes. No, for sure. I'm sure we will do some more things together.
Yeah. Well, thanks, girl. I appreciate you.
No, it was awesome.
I hope you found this episode interesting and it kind of opened your mind to different ways to heal our emotions, our psychological patterns, or any past traumas that we just cannot shake. I do want to say going into this that I felt like because I didn't really have a reason to get hypnotized, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I didn't really have any mental health things going on right now that I felt were unresolved. If you've listened to season 1 of the podcast, you know all my dirt. I have been, kind of in my own healing process for a few years now. So going into the hypnosis, I do think it would have been more targeted and beneficial if I had a specific topic or issue that I was trying to work through. But it was kind of a free-for-all. It was just for fun. But I will say it was really relaxing, and it was honestly just like calming and just a fun experience to kind of go through. Send this episode to someone that you know needs some hypnotherapy or just be interested in this topic. Give us a 5-star, give me your feedback, follow Allie. I have all of her info in the show notes. If anything, just book her for a good time. When people say the stars are aligned, I truly didn't know what that phrase even meant. Like, yeah, it makes sense, we get it, but having her actually explain it to you is like, oh my gosh, the stars are literally aligned for everything in our lives. So book Allie, she's with Revive Wellness Spa. I have all of her info in the show notes. Stay tuned for next week. I have a completely different topic coming at us. Follow me on socials, connect with me, give me your feedback. Again, I'm Brittany Racine with Mike It Loud, and we'll see you next week.